guys, welcome back to another reaction video. So for today's video, I'd like to react to the latest recorded content that Miss Foodie Beauty uploaded yesterday. It's called Biryani Mukbang, Non-Scale Victory, and UFOs in Kuwait. We all know now that she had messed with the aspect ratio on this this image right here, this shot, because when she came on live after, the aspect ratio, she hadn't turned it off and her face was like this. So great non-scale victory. She just made herself look like a complete moron, but what else is new? But the real reason why I wanted to react to this video was because she mentioned UFOs. And for me, UFOs are a very fun subject to talk about, to read about, and to learn about. So just give me a few minutes just to like kind of give you a background on why I'm so interested in this. So back during COVID, I started like really looking into UFOs and kind of like reading about it because I was bored, I wasn't working, and I had nothing to do. So I stumbled across this person. His name is Dr. Stephen Greer. He held a press conference for the National Press Club back in 2001 in Washington, D.C. about disclosure and how the United States government was hiding UFOs and aliens from the American people. He has got a bunch of documentaries out. The two I would recommend for the first ones, if you're interested in this kind of thing, is Unacknowledged and what's the other one? Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. These two documentaries changed my life. And they're not just like documentaries about lights way up in the sky. We're talking about actual footage of an alien materializing next to someone. There's shots of aliens actually, you could see them. Like it's wild. So if you're interested, check him out. He's all over YouTube. His stuff is free. He's on Prime. He's all over the place. He's legit. He has briefed presidents, CIA directors, presidents of different countries. I mean, this guy is connected, and he's trying to get the government to release all of the documentation and evidence they have that aliens are here, and that we have been communicating with them for a long time. Anyway, so I'm going to get off that soapbox, but I just wanted to kind of preface that with this because I'm going to be hitting her with some hard reactions in this one. So let's get to. I'm excited.
So I just want to show you a non-scale victory. If you look at the comparison pictures from a previous video, I used to have to wear...
Okay, again, these are not comparison photos because one is head on and one is turned sideways, and the one head on is obviously aspect ratio to F and back. So, okay.
An underslip, a long underslip with this shirt, and
I could still see your fupa.
Now I actually no longer have to. It actually covered.
Look at how smug she is. I got one up on them. Look at me. I'm manipulating my camera. They're not going to know the difference. I thought she didn't care about like showing us weight loss, and now all of a sudden non-scale victory. Okay.
There's a lot more of my, I guess, lower belly area. Hello, Foodie Beauties. Hey there, Beezers. Want a person? Maybe you just from me on Cameo.
I'm good.
It's super easy. Cameos also make great birthday or special occasion gifts. Hope to hear from you. Bye.
I think that what the American people need to know is that the U.S. military and intelligence community are sitting on a huge amount of visual and other information, still photos, video photos.
Now, sad that I know all these people. This is a very deep rabbit hole to go down, but these were the most recent Senate hearings. This happened like a week ago, I think, or so, trying to get the government to admit and open their files of all these UFOs, because guess what? I hate to break it to everybody, but if the aliens do show their faces, it's not going to matter who's president. It's not going to matter what the cost of gas is. It's not going to matter how much eggs are costing or a woman's right to choose, because it's going to be a whole different world. So these are the people who are trying to get the government. The guy on the left, I don't know if you could see him. His name is Luis Elizondo. He was actually part of the government for a while and is now trying to force the government to tell their secrets, because the American people need to know, because what the government is actually doing is the United States government is actually hoaxing these fake alien abductions. They actually abducted the head of the UN years ago. They actually tried to make it seem like he was actually abducted and to force him to believe he was abducted by aliens. This shit is crazy. Like, the United States government knows a lot and they're not sharing. And these people are trying to get them to. Just a background.
Those other sensor information, and they have for a very long time. And
they're not actually, like, here's the problem. Presidents, like, every president that comes in, someone will ask them, you know, what's in the vaults, like what happened at Area 51. The presidents don't know, because presidents are temporary employees. Not even Congress knows what's going on. Like, we're talking deep black ops. So the Senate is trying to like get people to like get the government to like show them what the hell's going on, because people are like, look, there's all this stuff going on and no one's telling anybody. So it's very, very interesting. It's very intricate. There's a lot of people involved, a lot of moving parts, but the government is slowly but surely releasing more and more things. Like, we've all seen that one video of the fighter jets with the UFO they caught on camera that was changing directions and just speeding off, and we've all seen those that footage, right? It's all over the place. But what is happening is the United States government is trying to stage something where it scares the American people into thinking there is an alien threat. And I hate to break it to you guys, but if aliens wanted to kill us, we would all be dead. Like, they obviously have the technology to get here. So why are they here? You know what I mean? And if they wanted to kill us, we would all be just evaporated, right? So these are the people that are saying, look, these beings are coming here for a reason. Why? We want to talk to them. We want to know what their agenda is, because the United States government is going to basically spin it saying that it's us against them, us against the aliens. So anyway, again, I'm on a soapbox. I'm sorry. I'm going to lose subscribers. But anyway, let's go.
Under my feet.
What a segue. Senate hearings and now her dancing with a pile of rice in front of her. That's great.
Hello, guys. Oh. Never mind. Okay, hello, I'm ready. It's ready. I have some chicken biryani. And it's from a place that will not upset my belly. The last time I had biryani, I got it from like...
Honey, your eyeliner is all over the place. It is all up in your eyeballs here. Like, what's going on?
A really cheap place.
Were you crying? Are you sad? Were you crying about something?
Really cheap. Too good to be true cheap. And I paid for it, trust me. But
let's try it again with a different place. Maybe it won't hurt my stomach.
This is from an expensive, yummy place.
Look at the size of that.
Fried onions on it. Okay, let's get this unpacked.
This is what makes her horny. It's this. It's not a guy. It's not sex. It's not anything. It's this. It's a pile of rice in front of her, steaming hot, that she didn't have to cook. That makes her horny.
We have, what is this? Probably potato broth. Is it? Yeah, it is. Yummy. All of the biryani stuff is underneath. The chicken.
Oh
so
God.
biryani is like an Indian food, so there's like Indian.
Is it like Indian? Is it like Indian?
Spices on this chicken. It's chicken thighs, I think, but whatever. Oh, thigh and breast.
That's like digging in with your raw hands there. Nasty.
I tried to do a thumbnail, but I always fail at those miserably.
She's been mukbanging for like 8 years and she still can't do a proper thumbnail on a mukbang. Let that sink in.
Right, I have a Coke Zero, chicken biryani, potato broth, and some greens. I haven't had this in a while, huh? At least on camera. Actually, I haven't really had it in a while either. Let me see.
At least on camera.
This place. Put some lemon on the greens, makes them a bit less bitter. And we're gonna have diet.
Now she just squeezed that lemon, that juice went everywhere, and she's gonna touch her face and her eyes.
Coca-Cola. Coke Zero, I should say. Bismillah.
Holy filters, Batman. Look at how smooth her skin is. Like her fingers, you can't even tell she's got like knuckles or skin. It's just smooth like a doll.
We have, I think this is like mabuch. It smells good. It smells like coriander, like cilantro. We have this spicy mabuch. This is the mabuch. Okay, crushed peppers and garlic. And I already said bismillah. So
I would love for her to go to jail and eat jail food for like a month, where she couldn't have all the crap that she puts on her already heaping plate, you know, like no extra sauces, no extra pickles or weird shit in little containers, like just prison food. No commissary, just the prison lunch food.
So let's try this biryani chicken with rice. Beauty bite.
That chicken looks, I don't know, not good. Ugh.
You can put the broth on the rice.
Oh, can you put the broth on the rice? I wasn't sure if I was able to do that or not. How much shit could she put on one plate?
Salad's eating mansaf with laham, with meat.
Nobody cares.
With mutton meat. So I'll show you guys what his meal looks like. It's his favorite. So yeah.
Oh, that looks disgusting. Oh, that is so gross. That is like, oh. And I know that sometimes you cook something, you take a picture of it or you see it, it doesn't look that great, but it tastes good. That looks just gross. If I ordered takeout and the meat looked like that, I'd be like, yeah, no, I wouldn't chance that.
He's happy
Also, how strange is it that they order food and then go into separate bedrooms to eat?
to be eating that today. So good. I love these fried onions.
They don't love you back. Type 2 diabetic, guys. Type 2 diabetic. Soda with every meal. Piles of rice. God knows what else she's got hidden under that high chair table.
The chicken is so tender.
Is it? Is it creamy and delicious? Is it juicy and moist?
Okay. I recently heard about this. Somebody in the comments in my chat last night during my live stream said that apparently there was a UFO sighting off the coast of Kuwait.
Okay.
So I looked it up. And sure enough, there is a report from U.S. Congress. The U.S. It was actually reported from the U.S. Defense team, like national defense. There's a lot of Kuwait. There's a lot of U.S. military stations in Kuwait.
I wonder why.
I don't know the history of that, but I'm guessing since the Gulf War.
Now, I was watching Pulpy react to this yesterday when it came out. That's how I kind of started watching it with him. I was like, thank God, because I don't want to watch it alone. I was going to get triggered. But she mentions this about the war, and he was kind of like taking the piss out of her and saying, well, what does that have to do with anything? Aliens have been known to literally shut U.S. missiles down. Like, there are quite a few reports on U.S. soil where the lights have appeared, spaceships and whatever you want to call them, UAPs have appeared, and our military has aimed missiles to shoot them out of the sky or threaten them, and they have literally shut down our systems. so that we cannot hurt them. So that's where I think she might be going with this. It's a thing. It has happened. Military personnel has, the ones that haven't been silenced, they have come forward and said, this is what happened. And I don't really care. This is what happened. And so I think that's where she's going. But that's a real thing. They actually do that. So that's kind of how all this kicked off. People are like, well, what is the big deal about UFOs? Area 51, Roswell is what really kicked everything off in 1945 in July, because we set off the bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and that tripped something, and every beings in other galaxies, they think, felt it. Something happened where they became aware that we were so destructive, and let's look what we're doing to our planet, right? So that kind of tripped them off, and then they came here, and then Roswell happened. I'm not going to get into all that, but that kind of ties in what she's saying. So it does make sense. It is a relevant comment. That's all I wanted to say.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I could have looked it up, but I didn't for this video, so forgive me. But look how
they do hover around military bases. That is a well-known fact.
and the chicken just falls right off. I'm very picky about thigh meat.
Are you picky? Because I don't think you're picky. I think you'll eat pretty much anything. We've seen you eat turds, so.
But this one is like always so well cooked from this place. Like, it just falls right off.
Nobody cares. Talk about aliens.
There's no,
Come
like,
on.
Gross, fatty stuff.
The one thing I want her to talk about, the one thing she ever talks about that I'm interested in, and she's talking about the goddamn chicken. I don't care about the chicken.
You know? Okay, so. What was reported and talked about in Congress? Like, they talked about this in Congress? Like, what?
They've been talking about this in Congress since 2001. They've actually been talking about the alien threat since Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan talked about it. Jimmy Carter talked about it. Jimmy Carter saw a UFO. Anyway, let's go.
They actually identified it as not a UFO. It was an unidentified anomalous phenomena. Anomalous means
It used to be UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, and now I think they've changed it again. Call it a UAP. It doesn't matter. UFO, UAP. Everyone knows what you're talking about.
like against the norm, like against science, basically, like abnormal in a sense. So basically, they identified it as a UAP.
First of all, it takes a lot. If people really want to get into the nitty gritty, it takes a lot to identify something as a UAP, because there's tons of different things it can be. And a lot of the times it's just like lights. It's some kind of weird solar flare. It's something that's not a UAP. I think like 10% or less than 10% of actual sightings are actual UAPs. So, yeah.
There's apparently a 13-minute video of this white orb.
If this blew, like, she's going to show the video in a second, but if this blew her mind, I would love to make her watch Dr. Stephen Greer, because she will shit her pants like I did.
Like unidentified object. And then there's a second orb that comes into frame. I'm going to try to find the video.
شوف شو طلع دخان شوف طلع دخان يا شو اسمك تعال شنو طيارة طلع دخان هذه اللي تبغى هذا شوف تعال شوف متحرك ها شكلهم فضائيين تعالوا.
Or some images to show you in this video.
And then an image of her with sauce all over her paw. The juxtaposition of this video, you guys. Like that video she just showed us, that's like nothing. It's like child's play. You guys really should watch Dr. Greer. I'm going to watch it after this, actually. I'm so into it.
The greens with lemon are so good. Oh, another piece of chicken.
And there's actually, okay, whatever. I'm going to be judged by this. I don't care. It's called CE5, where you initiate contact with aliens. And you know what? It works. It actually works. And in those documentaries, there is video evidence, a lot of video evidence of it working. So anybody could do it. If you're interested, hit me up in the comments and I can point you in the right direction of where to go. But holy shit, is it fucking fascinating, you guys.
But like, that's freaky. I did see the video.
Did you? Did you watch it? Because you put it in your video, so I hope you watched it. At least.
What is this? Some kind of vegetable?
Cat hair.
Unidentified vegetable.
Something that fell off your
Speaking
hands.
of unidentified objects. Man, the food has so many like different spices and flavors.
Well, it is Indian food. That's kind of what they're known for, aren't they? Their spices.
That's what I love about it. I'm gonna have to get dirty here, guys. Wow, the breast is just like falls off. It's so...
Get a goddamn fork and knife, or just at least get a fork, and you could just pick that apart. You don't have to use your nasty, disgusting hands.
So good. I love this place.
Yeah, we could see.
So that is kind of creepy. Apparently, like, Kuwait has a history of UFO sightings since like the 70s, from what I saw.
There's been sightings everywhere since the 40s, since it became huge and it exploded and people started looking at the sky.
Online. And that's just like interesting. I never knew that.
There's a lot of things you don't know because you don't ever, like, you're not curious about anything. There's a huge world out there that goes beyond your dinner plate. Okay? There's tons of things that are happening, Chantal, out in the world that you don't care about that are really freaking fascinating, actually. You should care about something once in a while. Make your life a little bit more fuller. I'm not naked, you guys. I have a shirt on.
I'd be interested to know which area of the world has the most UFO sightings.
That's easy. The United States. We've got two major UFO reporting groups. One is MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network. You see that on Ancient Aliens a lot, but they are legit. And there's another one, I forget the name of it, but there is a second one that also does handles reports and things like that, and people want to report a UFO. By far, the United States has the most UFO sightings. That's because of our actual land mass. It's such a huge country. There's a lot of open spaces. A lot of Americans love to stargaze, so that opens up the options of us seeing something else. And there's a lot of people here, right? Russia, Brazil, and the UK, I believe, are the followers. But the United States is pretty, and Canada as well. But the United States is pretty far ahead of the pack in terms of like actual sightings that people have recorded and reported seeing.
Probably the US, huh?
Yes.
I don't know. But if it is the US, is it not interesting that it was a report from the US Defense that this sighting came about? I don't know.
Because there are people who are trying to force our black ops government. I'm not talking about the Senate. The Senate has nothing. The Senate's trying to find out what's going on. We're talking about people beyond the president and beyond the director of the CIA. Okay. Those kinds of people that no one really knows about. They're the ones that are actually controlling everything in the government. Especially this Black Ops project, which guess where all your tax money is actually going to? These projects to reverse engineer UFOs. So if you really want to get angry, get angry.
There's something weird going on.
Like all of our money isn't going to poor people in this country. It's going to Black Ops projects, like reverse engineering UFOs so we could fight a space force. Donald Trump started the United States Space Force. It's a real thing. Look it up.
People
Probably the only good thing he said, in my opinion.
think that Kuwait has so many UFO sightings since, like, because of the different wars it's been involved in, the Iran-Iraq war. Also,
I could tell she read this from a website because she has no idea why you see UFOs above war like places where there's like heavy like war going on.
The Gulf War.
They were seeing shit in Vietnam too. Crazy stuff back there. Ask your like any old people you have in your family, anyone that's still alive who's been in the Vietnam War, if they have any stories. It's interesting. That's for sure.
Very interesting.
Is it?
I mean, what could it be? Doesn't look like a plane.
It could be a lot of
At all.
things. Could
They
be
give you
government.
so much chicken. My gosh.
Why is she digging in this rice with her fingers? Like, what is the point? This is why people think you're nasty and disgusting. Because you are.
Chicken wing.
Her favorite. I hope she gets a crunchy part.
But thank you to whoever pointed that out, because I wouldn't have probably known about that.
And she would have nothing to talk about in this video if she didn't. Basically.
I don't really pay attention to the news. I probably should pay more attention to the news, but
2024, a 40-year-old woman doesn't pay attention to the news. In Kuwait, no less. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's smart.
I think I hate the news because it reminds me of like early morning school days. Because when I used to be, you know, going to school, growing up, and I was super tired. In elementary, I used to take the bus, and the bus driver would always be listening to like the low droning, like morning news. And it just reminded me of like being super tired on the bus and not wanting to be there.
Listening to the news reminds you of being on the bus when you were a kid, so you don't listen to the news when you're an adult.
In high school, my mom would take me and would listen to the news on the radio. Or
The intellectual giant that is Foodie Beauty, my friends.
my best friend's dad would take us, and he would listen to the news full blast.
Yeah, because people want to know what's going on.
And if we were talking over the news, girls, quiet down, will ya? I'm listening to the news.
Yeah, because back then, that's how people got their news, on the TV and the newspapers and the radio. There was no internet back then. Shut the hell up. He wants to listen to the news. Leave him alone. Bunch of kids in the back.
So I think subconsciously I hold a grudge.
She holds a grudge against the news. She holds... If that doesn't tell you what her ideas on furthering her, any kind of knowledge or intelligence that she does have, right there, that should explain it all. Instead of Clarissa explains it all, it's Chantal explains it all.
But I do need to stay up to date on certain things. I think it would be good.
Remember when that guy Sam would come through the window and Clarissa explains it all and just be like, bam, with the guitar? Yeah.
This food is fire.
It's fire, guys. She's still stuck in 2019's fire. She's gonna take the L because it's fire. She always bitches that she doesn't want to eat grass and kale and quinoa, but here she is literally eating whatever the hell this is. Blades of grass, I don't know. I'm getting full just watching her.
So yeah, I found that interesting. I just wanted to share with you guys.
Sorry, I have a phone call. One sec. My apologies. Had to take a quick phone call. Let's get to.
Kind of creepy. Whoa, yum. Look at this big hunk of chicken. Yummy.
Her eye is actually
I think I'm
crying.
gonna save
Look
the
at
rest.
that.
There's a lot of leftovers, so. But, yeah, I thank you guys for watching and listening.
She's not going to save the rest. She's going to go in the other room and eat it in front of the TV.
Let me know if you've heard of this story. It's kind of creepy, but I hope I can find the video for you guys. I know it's online everywhere, so if I can like screen record or download it, a version of it so I can show you. But like, it was so eerie to see like a US politician in like Congress talking about like UFO sighting. But the fact that there's always...
Honey, the United States has a space force. We're trying to make it out that the aliens are a threat so that we can get everyone to pay for the space force that Donald Trump started when he was president. So, yeah.
Is military involved in it makes me suspicious that it's something military.
Honey, the United States government has their own spaceships. Like, it's real. It's happening. It's already here.
Not, you know, supernatural or...
If you really want to see something scary, check out the aliens in the ocean. That's no joke.
an alien from outer space. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, we know more about space than we do about our own oceans. We don't know what's in our oceans, right? Really, for the most part, like 90% of the ocean is unmapped or something crazy like that. So, look, there's video evidence. That's all I got to say.
Guys, yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I just wanted to share my dinner with you and have a chit chat. My favorite thing to do. Chit chat over some good food. I love it. And I miss going out with my friends in Canada for dinner. Like I said, we used to go out for dinner like 2-3 times a week.
When you were a teenager in high school, maybe? When did you go out for dinner with your friends? What friends? The friends that hate you now, that you're the laughing stock of in your town? Oh, okay.
Me and my friends, so yeah. But yeah, I have some people here now that I can hang out with if I need to, if I want to, if they want to, whenever we want to, so that's good.
You could tell she doesn't have friends. She doesn't even know how to talk about them.
Get back, into the habit of that with some people here. So anyways, I'll see you.
The only reason I've reacted to that is because she mentioned UFOs. Again, I can go on my soapbox for a while. You probably already have unsubscribed to me. That's okay. I don't mind. This is interesting to me. But yeah, she is right. There are there is alien activity above space stations, above military bases, nuclear reactor plants, things like that. That's where they are because they're keeping an eye on things so we don't destroy this planet because we already are. But anyway, if you are interested in Dr. Stephen Greer, I'm going to put a link to his some of his works down below if you're interested. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.